Two brothers left home for a cinema. Wow, picture देखने के मूड से क्या बात है. Okay, so these are our two cute looking brothers. Okay, and they left for the cinema hall. So say this is our cinema hall. Okay, so the distance. Okay, let's assume that the distance between our home and the cinema hall is say x kilometers. Okay, now one brother rode a bicycle. This is the one of them. Okay, he rode a bicycle with a speed of say 25.2 km per hour. So the speed with which it is riding is 25.2 km per hour. Okay, to reach the cinema hall, 5 minutes 50 seconds after the other brother who took a taxi that drove at 37.8 km per hour. ओके, तो इसको तो कुछ टाइम लगेगा यहाँ तक पहुँचने में, और उसके पहले जो दूसरा स्मार्ट वाला था, ये छोटा वाला, ओके, उसने एक टैक्सी ले लिया और टैक्सी की स्पीड थी, व्हाट वाज द स्पीड ऑफ द टैक्सी वाज 37.8 kilometers per hour. Okay, so you see, it's very easy once you know the speed. Can you calculate the time? Yes, we can calculate the time. The time is nothing but it's distance upon speed. Okay, so what's your distance? Distance is x. Okay, and your speed is 25.2. Same way here also, if you want to calculate the time taken by the other one which is using the taxi, is distance by speed. So distance is same x, and the taxi speed is 37.8. Okay, so you've got two times. One is the time taken by the person who's driving a cycle, and the other one is the time taken by the one who has taken a taxi. Okay, so now let's go back again to the question and compare their times. Okay, so if we want to compare their time, in the question it's given the one which is riding the bicycle, he reaches 5 minutes 50 seconds later. Okay, so that brings us to a very simple equation, that is time taken by the boy which has taken cycle, definitely will take more time, minus the time taken by the other one which has taken the taxi. Okay, this has to be equal to the time gap. And what is the time gap? 5 minutes 50 seconds. So it is 5 minutes 50 seconds. Okay, so let's convert everything into seconds now. The 5 minutes, so 1 minute has 60 seconds, so 5 minutes have 5 into 60, that is 300 seconds. Okay, we have another 50 seconds, so that adds up to 350 seconds. Okay, if we want to convert that 350 seconds into say hours, that has to be 350 upon 3600. Okay, and what's the time taken by the one who was cycling was x by 25.2 minus the other one which was driving the taxi was x by 37.8 equal to this. So this is a very important equation. Now you have to be a little careful, because see, now these equations are in some decimals are being used, so you have to be more careful. Okay, so let's solve it separately. Okay, so let's again write down the thing. It's time taken by the boy to cycle minus time taken by the boy who was gone by taxi. See, why we are writing cycle in first? Because the time taken by the one who's riding cycle will be more. Okay, so you can subtract more minus less. You cannot subtract less minus more. So more minus less is your the time gap, right? And time gap just now we have calculated, it's 350. It was in seconds, so you convert it into hours, because we know 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Okay, so this was x by 25.2 minus x by 37.8. Okay, now rather than finding out LCM, I'll be using the crisscross method, that is this multiplied by this, so that will be 37.8x minus this multiplied by this 25.2x whole divided by, multiply both the denominators, so it is 25.2 multiplied by 37.8 is equal to 350 divided by 3600. Okay, so now this, if you subtract, that will give you 12.6x divided by denominator gives you 952.56 is equal to 350 divided by 3600. Okay, so if you take this to the other side and this 12.6 to this side, you're left with x is equal to 350 into 952.56 all divided by 3600 into 12.6, which gives me 333396 in the numerator and 45360 in the denominator, which when I divide I get 7.35 kilometers. Or you can say that the distance is 7 kilometers 350 meters. Okay, see, the question was very simple, easy. Let's revise the question once again. Okay, there were two brothers, okay, cute looking brothers over here. They left home for a cinema, and we have seen that we have taken that the distance between the home and the cinema was x kilometers. The smart one, okay, the smaller one, the smart one took a taxi whose speed was 37.8. So if you want to find out time, it is distance by speed is x by 37.8. Whereas the other one was a slow one, he took a cycle, okay, so he reached his time was distance by speed is x by 25.2. And in the question it's given that the one which is driving the bicycle, okay, is reaching 5 minutes 50 seconds later. So it's very simple equation, the time taken by the one who's riding cycle minus the time taken by the other one who's riding the taxi is 5 minutes 50 seconds. 5 minutes 50 seconds, to make it easy, we have converted it into seconds, that is 350 seconds. Now because all our question is in kilometer per hour, so we convert 350 seconds to hour by dividing it by 3600. So it is x by 25.2 minus x by 37.8, which gives me this wonderful looking equation. Okay, and rather than finding out LCM, I do by crisscross method, multiplying this denominator by this numerator, multiplying this denominator by this numerator and writing it over here, and in the denominator multiplying this denominator and this denominator and writing it over here, is equal to the right hand side 350 upon 3600. When you subtract them, you get 12.6x, and you multiply them, you get 952.56, which is equal to 350 by 3600. Because we have to find out the value of x, so we keep x on one side, take 12.6 into the denominator over here, and this 952.56 take it into the numerator over here along with 350 upon 3600. When you multiply the numerator, you get 333396, denominator will give you 45360. When you divide both of them, you end up getting 7.35 kilometers, which can be written as 7 kilometers 350 meters. So see, in this question, the only difficult part is you may go little, may go wrong because they have used decimals, but you need not be afraid of decimals. Okay, try your best to multiply them and arrive at the answer. I hope, as we say, easy gyan. Okay, so it's really easy to solve a question which involves decimals as well. Thank you.